Hey, this is Rick. Welcome back to my channel. From time to time I do some reviews on some stuff that I think is useful in our daily lives. And this one is something that just came in that I've been looking forward to. If you follow my channel, I'll put some links up here to some of the stuff I'm going to talk about. I do vermiculture, which is basically composting your kitchen scraps into soil for your plants, for your garden, your indoor plants, outdoor plants, whatever you want. You're going to take your kitchen scraps and you're going to feed them to your worms, and those worms are going to create castings, which is basically worm poop, and that is like gardener's gold. You can use that for any kind of plant that you want to grow, be a shrub, lilies, whatever. It's going to be steroids basically for your plants, and it's not going to cost you anything. It's great for the environment. We're going to convert our kitchen scraps into food for the worms, or you can just go ahead and take your scraps and you can put them into your compost pile for outside. This particular container that I've got is going to be decorative and it's going to be nice, and you can put that on your counter to match your other stainless steel containers that you have. It's not going to smell. You're not going to get any fruit flies or anything like that. So let's go ahead and get to the unboxing and to the review. Okay, so here I've got this product. Like every other product these days, it's going to come from China. Here in the States, it doesn't seem like we manufacture too much. It's well packaged. And there's not much to it. We'll put that off to the side. Go ahead and unpack this. And here's the lid for it. That's it. Goes on there like that. You see that there's like a series of vent holes that run around the top here. Nice stainless steel container. Has a nice handle. There's the bottom. This container is going to measure all the way from the bottom to the top of the little knob there, roughly about 11.5 inches width. We're going to call that about 6 3/4. We'll go ahead and we'll pop that open. And now you can see inside there. Nice and roomy. It's a pretty good gauge stainless steel, nice and deep. So the depth then, it's going to go about 8.5 inches. To that lip, we're going to call it 7.5 where the lid goes in there. So you're going to probably have about 7.5 inches of space that you can fill up in there. Now there's absolutely zero instructions there. It says Segler Compost Pail, number 4367. Probably manufactured by a particular manufacturer in China, and probably you're going to see these all over the market with different names on there, like everything. Our companies will put their name on it, but they're all basically the same. This costs under $20. I mean, for a stainless steel container, that's pretty good. It's going to be decorative for me here in our kitchen. And this is advertised for 1 gallon capacity, so you can put 1 gallon of material in here, which is pretty nice. The thing that's nice about this particular design is it does come with these carbon filters in there. And like I said, there's no instructions on this whatsoever. I mean, it is pretty self-explanatory. Like I said, it does have these vent holes that will allow your compost to break down, your kitchen material that you're composting to break down. Now, usually when you have a open bucket or something, it's going to stink as it starts to compost down and decompose. That's what's unique about this. It has these carbon block filters in here. Now, from what I gather, this doesn't disconnect. It's got these little indentations that run around the lid, which I guess hold this second compartment in here. You're going to see some of these other ones on the market that don't have this inner liner here. It's just open with the lid, and it just has a filter that just kind of sticks in there. This design's a little bit different. It's a little more well made, and it has this inner liner of carbon foam here, and it also has a square, larger one inside there. Now, I noticed trying to take this in and out was a little more difficult to get in and out. What I would suggest is, with any kind of carbon filter, the carbon's going to want to come out and flake out of this a little bit. No big deal, but you might not want it, all over the place. You'll see little carbon pieces that look like pepper flakes. Not going to hurt anything. Carbon's not going to hurt you. I use this kind of material in my aquariums, my fish tanks. If you're familiar with my channel, you'll see my aquariums that I have, and I use a lot of these type of filters. You can purchase these separate. They will probably last a long time, or you can maybe get a piece of this and cut them out yourself. Maybe save yourself some money if you don't want to buy them from separate manufacturers. Like I said, there's a bunch of them on the market. One thing I did notice trying to get this in, it's going to be hard. I have pretty big hands. Like I said, this thing's measuring about 7 inches, and in that inner hole is about 4 inches. So it's hard for me to get my hand in there and try to to work things. If you have smaller hands, it might be easier for you, but for me to try to get it in there, it's a little tedious, and plus I have some health issues with my hands. If you see my other channel, Fibros66, you'll know that I do have some other problems, but not to dwell on that. I would go ahead and pre-rinse these, and like I said, to get that peppery type of flake out of this so it's not all over the place, and then it might be easier or more pliable to get into the lid itself. So let me go ahead and do that, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I went ahead and I rinsed it out. The square filter was in the front there first, and it's wet. It'd be a lot easier to go in there. Now they had this in that inner groove there. So the way I would suggest doing this is roll it up like this after it's wet, and then you can slide it in that groove right there. Pop it in and then work it around. Just feather it out, work it around, and you'll get it seated right in there nice again. Whoever put this together must have smaller hands than I do. So as you work it around, it'll seat right in there nice. There we go, spin it around. And it's sitting in there nice. Now you have a nice barrier there that's going to keep the smells out with that carbon block filter. Your vents will vent off to let it decompose for you. I wouldn't go any more than probably a week. We'll see. It's going to sit on there nice like this. As you can see in my kitchen, we already have stainless steel containers that we use. So this will blend in nice. It'll sit right there next to the other ones. And when you're done your kitchen scraps, such as these here, they're going to go right in there. And no fruit flies or anything else that you have to worry about. And we can leave it there until it fills up and either goes into my worm bin or it can go out to the compost pile. We'll go ahead and take our kitchen scraps that we have, and I've saved some. I've got some lettuce and some cucumbers and some eggshells that were boiled. No meats or anything like that. And we'll put that right in there. You can put your coffee grinds in there, your tea bags in there. Everything will be compostable and it'll break down. Like I said, great for your worms or just your compost pile, whatever you want to do. And for my worms, I do blend my foods. There's a link up there to that video. You can go ahead and take a look at that. But that's it. I hope this review was helpful for you. I think it's nice for under 20 bucks. You can't beat it. It's better than having just a plastic bucket under your sink or anything like that. So hey, I hope that answered your questions. I hope this review was helpful to you. Once again, please subscribe. That subscribe button's down there. Click that. You never know what video I'm going to come up with next. Please share with your friends. Like it. Give me a comment. I'll get back to you as soon as I can if you have any questions. And here's to taking care of our environment and composting. Take care.